Bringing a Cuban partner to Canada, Part 1. Marriage in Cuba. As expected, in a communist state, marriage in Cuba is a fairly cut and dried affair, with a clutch of bureaucratic rules you have to adhere to. Practically anyone can be married in Cuba, regardless of nationality or place of residence, as long as they have the required documentation. As the Canadian or foreigner in the marriage, Cuba requires you to have the following: birth certificate, proof of marital status if you're single. As a Canadian, that means obtaining a statement in lieu of certification of non-impediment to marriage abroad. This should be applied for from the Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development, Canada, by mail from inside Canada. You must send the request to the Authentication and Service of Documents section of Foreign Affairs before you depart for Cuba, to be sure that you have the statement in lieu of with you when you travel. Alternatively, you can apply for one from the local Government of Canada office abroad in Cuba, which would be the Canadian Embassy in Havana. If you are widowed, you will need your marriage certificate and the death certificate of your deceased spouse. If you are divorced, you will need your divorce certificate, a valid passport and your tourist card and/or visa. Please note that all these documents, or notarized copies of such, must be translated into Spanish and then legalized or notarized at the Cuban consulate in Canada nearest you. This should be done before you travel to Cuba for the wedding. Your Cuban partner will require the following: his or her identity card. If they are divorced, their divorce certificate or a notarized copy of the same. If your Cuban partner is female and has been divorced for less than 300 days, then she will need a medical certificate that states whether or not she is pregnant. If your Cuban partner is a widow, they will need their marriage certificate and the deceased partner's death certificate. For marriages in Cuba, if you, as the foreigner, are unable to physically attend the marriage ceremony, you may appoint a representative through the Cuban consulate in Canada. The representative is granted by you the power to represent you at the wedding, by means of a notarized letter in Canada, which is then authorized by the Cuban consulate and sent to Cuba. The representative has to be an adult of either sex and can be of any nationality. In order to be granted the power to represent you, your representative in Cuba must give the authorities the following information about themselves: full name, place of birth, citizenship, marital status, occupation, address, identity card if Cuban or passport if foreigner. In Cuba, your civil marriage application will take place at a quasi-private entity run by the Justice Ministry of Cuba and called Consultoria Judicia Internacional, S.A. In Havana, their offices are located at the following addresses: 108 22nd Street, between Avenida Primera and Avenida Tercera, in Miramar, Municipality Playa, Havana, Cuba. 23rd Street and J Street, El Vedado, Municipality Plaza de la Revolucion, Havana, Cuba. You should arrive at their offices with all the above listed documentation, as well as with 2 adult witnesses who are not related to you or your Cuban partner. They should also be functionally fluent in Spanish and must give the following information: first and last names, address, identity document numbers or passport numbers, along with residence permits or tourist card. You will have to pay several fees and a stamp fee, and will be given 3 copies of your marriage certificate. You should also register your marriage at the Canadian Embassy or Consul in Havana. For everything you need to know about this process, click the hyperlink or call the number below this video.